3, 2, 1.
AM in the PM only on A2D Radio. Tom and Brett, these guys are fucking awesome.
You know, I go bouncy. What it's called bouncy. It's a great name for it. Welcome in, fam. A2D Radio. Listen, going back old school tonight, if you want to call it old school, because it's been a while where it's just AM and the PM here. We've been doing crossovers with the Fix. Both Ralphie and Ryan on vacation, and Frank couldn't make it tonight. So we go a little old school AM and the PM. Just me and Greg. We're back at it. But we brought in some Uncle Negativity to join the show. We can't go kumbaya here at A2D Radio. So Rob Brinkman joins us tonight. Obviously, you can catch him every Monday night on the Sports Hounds. But Tom,
I tell the truth.
Greg,
I tell the truth, fellas.
Well, it depends how you take it.
This negativity fake. It's Brian Wilson's fault, wherever he is. It's Mr. Negative Brinkman, a fake news agenda perpetrated by Brian Wilson.
Yeah, he's like a CNN. I don't even want to say that out loud. Yeah. The video might get hit, but I digress. Tom Renaud, Greg Milakovic, Rob Brinkman. Every Wednesday night, we're brought to you by our doc. Make them yours. That's Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. We'll do Dumbest Thing of the Week, which we've been doing every Wednesday night with the guys on the Fix. Phillies return soon. Saturday now, doubleheader. We'll talk about it. We were talking about a pre-show. Do we reset a rotation? We'll get into that in the second half of the show. Sixers restart begins. We were hoping to have Kai Carlin on with us. My days feel like they run together. His days felt like they ran together. We both sort of forgot. So we'll get him on next Wednesday. Obviously, Sixers beat reporter. So we'd love to get his insight, and we'll get him on after a couple games. So that works too. So we'll get to him next week. But the Sixers restart begins Saturday. Let's go. Ties into our poll question brought to you by Ambuck Services, AMBUCK Services.com. 20% off. Telling the boys from A2D Radio sent you. Gutters, gutter guards, gutter installation, deck restoration. It feels like a rhyme, right? You know, gutter. What is it? Gutter installation and deck restoration. You know what I mean? Got a little rhythm to it. But
you're a poet. You didn't even know it.
So 20% off. That's all you got to do. Tell them the boys from A2D Radio saying AmbuckServices.com. Our poll question. You can vote for it. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. We're live everywhere, and everywhere you get your podcast, you can find us there as well. Like, subscribe, follow. Ben Simmons will silence his haters in Orlando. Agree or disagree? Let us know. Chime in. Get off your chest. If you're excited, if you believe an Eastern Conference final run's about to happen in the bubble, let us know. If you think a first-round exit's happening in the bubble, let us know. If you think a second round is happening, let us know that too. And if you believe what I believe, because it's typical Philadelphia, that we would win the whole damn thing when we can't have a parade. That's how Philadelphia works. Now, I don't know if we're winning the whole thing, but I do think this basketball team's going to an Eastern Conference final. And then the poll question, I completely agree he silences haters. I think he's going to be aggressive. I think he's going to shoot the three ball. I really do. I think he's going to hit some. And I think he's going to be a mismatch nightmare for any other four in the league once he stretches it. Because his quickness, nobody's keeping up with. Stretch fours aren't keeping up with that. The guy can go by point guards. Now stretch fours are keeping up with it. Grow up, Peter Pan. If he can shoot the three ball, it's lights out in Orlando. All right? It's lights out. If he can shoot the three ball, he becomes a top 10 player in the NBA. You understand that? Everybody get that? That's what could happen here. That's what could happen. And help this basketball team go to an Eastern Conference final, get over a hump, all right? And maybe even his Australian brother from another mother, Brett Brown, keeps his job too. So it could be a double win for Mr. Ben Simmons and the Philadelphia 76ers if now listen, I still think he's a tremendous player even without the three ball. I'm just saying it becomes his game goes to another level shooting it twice a game. Doing it twice a game. His game goes from here to here because now you got to respect it. Once you got to respect, he's taking anybody off the dribble. Anybody off the dribble. So you want to come up and get Pomsy, he's going by it. That's what's going to excite me. One, Joel Embiid needs to be on the basketball court, but we'll talk about that a little bit later too. But Ben Simmons will silence his haters in Orlando. Agree or disagree? I agree. I believe, and part of it's I want to believe, that he's going to be aggressive. Still be a great distributor. Still be first team, in my opinion, all defense in the NBA. But I think he's going to be more aggressive on the offensive end. Boys, agree or disagree with the poll question? Greg, Ben Simmons, Rob will silence his haters in Orlando. You agree or disagree? Families chiming in. We'll get to them all. And there's already negativity. There's already negativity in the chat.
You guys call me Mr. Negativity. Look at this chat. They're playing negativity all around right now.
A little too much. A little too much. Greg, agree or disagree?
What up, Hootie? I agree. I'm right with you. I think this is Ben Simmons' stardom in Orlando. I think there's a different mentality in him. I think he's grown as a person, through the injuries as well, not just this quarantine. Because remember, we go back, he wasn't probably going to play the playoffs potentially.
He wasn't.
And even when they announced the return for the season, there was questions whether he'd be ready for that. Elton Brand kind of gave it, well, we're going to play it, coy, and that's all fine and good. But I think something. Obviously, we know he was with a psychiatrist, and talking, mental doctors and stuff like that. And if that's what it took to get over this hump and to get, his mental game back there, I think he cements his stardom here in Orlando.
Breaks the bubble, per se.
Boom.
Yeah. I'm in on Ben. I'm in. My criticisms of this basketball team have never been with Ben Simmons. That's without him shooting the three ball. I don't even need him to shoot the three ball. If you remember those Miami Heat teams, those great Miami Heat teams with Wade, Bosh, and LeBron, if he can play like Chris Bosh in the half-court set, kind of shoot that elbow jumper, stretch out, take a couple threes, rebound the basketball. Because I think what people don't realize, because people are blockheads about basketball these days. We're in a whole different era of basketball. It's positionless basketball. If Joel Embiid gets a rebound or Horford gets a rebound, they're looking for Ben to push pace, even though he's going to play power forward in the half court. If the break's not there, then you hand it off to Shake and you try and do something in the half court. So I think Brett Brown has finally listened to me after 3.5 years about how to properly use Ben Simmons in the new style of the NBA, which is positionless basketball. And if he makes 2-3 threes a game, he's going to be not only the best player on the Sixers, not only the best player in the Eastern Conference, the best player in the league. I think his career is mirroring LeBron's a great deal. I know those are big shoes to fill, and it sounds weird for me to be positive about the Sixers, but I see that because LeBron wasn't a killer. He wasn't a shooter when he first came in, but he developed that as he came in. So if the Sixers fall short of wherever you want to put them, finals, Eastern Conference Finals, second round, I just see how these seeds fall and who they're going to match up with in the second round for me to say that they can get to the Eastern Conference Final. I know it might sound weird because Milwaukee's loaded and a really good basketball team. I think the Sixers match up really well with Milwaukee. I think that's their best case scenario is to draw Milwaukee in the second round. I think that's your best chance of going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Because I think the other three coaches in the Eastern Conference Finals, unfortunately, Nick Nurse, Spoelstra, and Brad Stevens, are going to run circles around Brett Brown no matter who's on the court. And I think that's trouble because I'm not a Brett guy. And then my main criticism of the Sixers is Joel Embiid. He hasn't won me over yet. He hasn't done anything in this league except for be a front runner and be hurt. So I need to see more out of Joe than I need to see out of Ben during this bubble. But Ben's unbelievable. Haters of Ben just don't know what they're talking about, even without the three.
No, I mean, that changed this year because his defense went to another level. Okay. So when your defense goes to another level, you sort of become that complete player, right? And you always want that. So I think a lot of criticism ended this year from guys like myself because he was that good defensively. And it sort of showed during the playoffs last year when it really started to show how good he was defensively. And then it carried over and he even got better at it. So I saw progress from him. You know what I mean? It wasn't stagnant. Nothing was stagnant. His free throws were better. So little things like that were better. So nothing was stagnant. And when you look at it like that, you know, I agree with you. I just think a little expand could make him, you know, I said top 10, but I don't disagree with you right there around number 1.
I wouldn't trade Ben Simmons for anybody in the league if he starts shooting the 3. Nobody. And the only player I'd trade for him now without the 3 is Giannis.
I agree with that because of age. You know what I mean? Like there's other
Giannis is just Giannis. He's a freak.
Yeah.
Like, he's
No.
just,
I'm just saying, like other.
I'm on the same wavelength. The only guy I trade him for, period, is Luka. That's it.
Okay, I forgot. That's close. We'll see how the bubble goes for me to. But Luka's really good too.
Yeah, Gavin Keller, big weekend of Philly sports. Let's go, absolutely, brother. Giddy up time. Not only we got Phil's hopefully back with a double piece, but we got Sixers Saturday and we got Flyers. So I mean, everything's right here. It's back, and especially for the bubble ones, they're going to work out. Ryan says Ben Simmons will average a triple-double during the bubble playoffs. I have no reason to disagree with that. I mean, to me, he's a walking triple-double. You know what I mean? So that's how I
did that. He did that the other night in the scrimmage game. I think he had 8 assists, you know, or something like that.
That's what he does. He's a great distributor. And once the offensive game becomes more confident, that's when the takeover happens. And this happens with age and growth. That's all. Pop says, "What's up, fellas? What up, Pop?" Palatero said Steph Curry. I guess if you trade Ben for Steph, I want it. I would not.
No, I wouldn't.
Not at this point in the years. Like maybe, you know, Steph 5 years ago, sure. Maybe I would think about it 5 years ago because he didn't miss and he was younger. But now it's like, you know, I got to factor age in this equation too. You know what I mean?
That's why Ben gets criticized because he's not Steph Curry. He's not going to make 1,000,000 threes and fill up a 50. He's not going to ever score probably 50 points in a game ever in his career.
And Steph Curry has never shut down another player like Ben Simmons has.
Absolutely not.
No, I mean, there's facts. There's facts that people need to understand when you're critical. Listen, at this point, when you said about Joel Embiid, Rob, I can't argue with you, even though that's my guy, right? I can't sit here and argue with any of that criticism, right? Because then I'm just an asshole. But okay, what I can say is that you look at people who criticize Ben. It's unfair criticism because you got to expect time for young players to grow, right? To become the player they're going to become for the rest of their career. Now, Joel Embiid is who he is. To me, he was special anytime he's on the court, right? Okay? But the problem always has been be on the court. Then, Joe signs a specialness early on, and then as he's continued to go on throughout his career, he's gotten better and better and better and better. So that's the difference in the two. Where Joel, you're never going to be critical of his game when he's playing and he's healthy because he's dominant. You're only critical of his game, really, when he's not on the court because we need him on the court to get to where we want to get to, right? So that's how I look at them, too. But what I do look at, the big thing is that you got to lose, and I'll say it a million times, before you learn how to win. So two exits in the second round, one going further than the other one, right? Now, can you get over that hurdle? Now, show me your response to losing. Show me you can get to an Eastern Conference final. Show me the toughness of and show me some growth as players, as my two superstars. That's how important this bubble is. Not only for Joel Embiid, for Ben Simmons as well. This bubble is very important to show growth, regardless if it's a restart or not, because a restart only benefited us, really, more than anybody in the Eastern Conference. More than anybody in the Eastern Conference, the restart benefited us because now our two stars are air quote healthy. Because I think Joel's I think it's just a nursing thing. I think he's fine.
I mean,
Caliparo
Pinja in the chat there saying he would trade Ben Simmons for James Harden. That's asinine to me. That's asinine. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't trade James Harden and 5 first-round picks for Ben Simmons.
Me either.
Like that's stupid. It's dumb.
You can send their whole roster here, and I'll deny it. Bryce Blackwell says,
"What up, Bryce?
Greg, Tom, Brink, what up, brother?" He said, "Basketball tomorrow, yes, sir."
Yes, sir.
No prayers for Lane Johnson, as everybody knows. A couple Eagles has a positive, but we'll get through all this. So
At least it's not PEDs. At least it's not PEDs.
yeah, can't get suspended for this one. Joe Moffat, I think the Sixers need to dance before every game. Got nothing else to do in the bubble. Might as well treat yourself. Just to show you how, what it takes to be great. And I think this roster with these two superstars has the ability to dominate teams. They truly do. They're mismatched nightmares. This roster is probably, even with shaking the lineup, is long as shit. So, and to me, they have the makings of a team that's ready to make a run.
Why don't they? Why are they so inconsistent? And give me Ajita every time they do something good, they do two things bad. It's one step forward, one step backwards with this team. Why can't they put it all together if they're so talented and so dominant?
I think that's the youth side of it. You know what I mean? That's the youth.
I think it's a combination. It's a combination of Ben still growing as a player and completing that process. And the other combination is Joel Embiid staying on the court. When your two-star players aren't where they need to be consistently, you're going to go through the because they're growing, right? And it's not an excuse. That's just the way it goes. But to your point, this is why this is big, Rob. This is why this restart is gigantic for them too. I don't care what anybody says. They got it to be dominant. They got to show they're elite. They got to show they're stars in a huge environment, essentially, where everybody's watching on TV. Everybody's watching you, regardless if anybody's there. Everybody's watching you. This is important for two guys I love, but they got to show, they got to prove me right, because I've been the king of saying it's steps for young players, right? I've been the king of it, of defending these two. All right? Nobody's defending them more on the Philadelphia Airways than me, period. Okay? Period in every show I've done. The fact of the matter is you have to show growth, because I can't defend forever. I can't consistently run out here and be like, "Oh, it runs its course." So it's so important in the Eastern Conference Final. So important. You agree or disagree, fam, out there? You guys? An Eastern Conference Final or bust for this basketball team right now. Now, no, am I trading guys? No. Let's not go crazy. I'm just upset. That's all. I'm just upset. Fair?
We're boxed in with the roster, with the way it's constructed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, guys, so we have our five or our five. I mean, that's it. What are you going to do?
No, you're absolutely right, Rob.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm not trading my stars, Robbie. I'm not trading my stars is what I'm saying.
No.
If I don't get to where I want to get to, or get to where I believe we should get to, I'm not in the business of trading them.
And then, the only guy that makes sense to trade is Embiid. And there's only a handful of guys I would even do that for, even though he pisses me off and makes me mad all the time.
He makes me mad at times now.
Boxed in.
But if he's healthy,
Nonsense. It's nonsense.
I hate saying it. If he's healthy, this team can go to an Eastern Conference goddamn final. Somebody tell me if Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are healthy and on the court, this team can't go there. I mean, Joel Embiid on the court is flat out dominant. I don't care what anybody's got to say. When he
wants to be, and when he's healthy, I agree.
Well, I believe he's going to want to be in this bubble. He ain't trying to exit a bubble early, because he's got to answer a lot of questions then. And how they lost last year. Haunted
when he cried his eyes out after they lost to Toronto.
And the biggest question he's got to answer is, when you come out halfway through the season and say, I'm just coasting to get to the playoffs, then you come up small in the playoffs, then you're going to have a lot of questions to answer. So you better be ready to go.
Yeah.
For the playoffs.
Well, Rob said, and I have no problem with him crying last year, because I want my young players to take things hard. Okay. I don't care about that. You know,
I don't disagree with that. You cry in the shower. You cry in the locker room. You don't cry where everyone can see you.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if you ever respond.
That's fine.
I don't care. I care about your response to it, which is now. You know what I mean? You said, like Greg said, you said you were coasting. Fine. I'm on board with you coasting in the regular season. But when the lights turn on, baby, it's go time then. So can you turn the switch on? We're going to find out. Again, can they get another switch on? So now it's a double switch, right? Because it's a restart. Switch. But at the end of the day, we're going to find out, aren't we? Because I'm going to tell you, if he's healthy throughout the bubble, I'll see you. I might see you all on Broad. If them two are healthy throughout the bubble, we ain't allowed on Broad, but we're still going to walk that shit as a family. I'll see you all there.
Don, I'm sure they are pretty good. I heard they're adding it to the bubble. I hear they're adding a couple gentlemen's clubs to keep Lou Will in town.
I mean, they brought the barbers in. I can't believe they didn't bring a pole or two. I mean, my
Lou
own.
Williams. He's going to a strip club. He tells everyone he's getting food. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, right. Right. I agree with you, Ryan. Sports psychologist was a huge sign. Yeah, no, I mean it showed awareness and alert, right? And you're aware of your surroundings, right? A little bit, right? You're just aware of what's going on. Like, maybe I just got to get over this hurdle, and that's why I think the bubble allows him to stretch it. The bubble allows him to stretch it. John Coyle, this team has to get the Eastern Conference Finals. No excuses now. Agreed.
Absolutely.
Pelotero, listen, I'll be honest with you, but name a coach in the NBA besides Tibbs that they disappointing players like this.
Yeah,
Like,
Tibbs never lasts anywhere for any amount of time. So all the players hate him.
Yeah, so it's not the same game, brother, like it was back in the day when we all loved back in the day. But like, I don't even coach like that. You got to coach up players nowadays. You got to coach confidence. You got to build confidence regardless, right? And then if you got stars, you as a coach don't matter in the NBA. Just want to fill the people in on that one. All right.
And that's been true forever.
Parker, virtual abroad on some Google Maps shit. Yeah. Yo, Bryce, the poll, baby. I can't. You brought like 10 barbers in. Bring a poll or two. I mean, that's all. You can be cashless. Just have her have the freaking swipe thing out for the card. Everybody swipes.
or you free swipe. You load up your Disney card.
Yeah, your Disney card.
Gotta be able to get a sponsor for that. I mean, General Electric gave like $250. Every player has their own washing machine down there. You can't get a strip club to send some girls in.
Pelotero, you have so much hatred for Brett Brown.
Yeah, and I'm Mr. Negative.
This is unbelievable. I mean, can we fire him afterwards? Like, can we just wait? Like, can we just be excited we're getting it back and hope the stars take over and our really good players take over? Can we hope for that instead of the opposite, where we're talking about firing them and we haven't even played a game yet, a real one? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, and you look, I have the schedule up right here. I just looked it up because I had no idea what's going on. It looks like they're playing Indiana first. That's a big game for me to like see what we
bonus though.
That's a sneaky good team. And I think Oladipo's playing. He was sitting at
the bonus
scrimmages. Is Oladipo playing?
Yeah, I don't know if he's made a decision yet. I didn't hear anything.
Like, I saw he was going to sit out to rehab his leg, and then I saw him on the box scores in some scrimmages. So he's in the bubble right now. So obviously,
I guess he's playing then.
Yeah, then if he's in the bubble, he's Gucci.
And then they play the second to last game on August 12th is against the Raptors. So that's
and then you end with the Rockets.
Don't listen, boys. These 8 games are important too, not for seeding. Just to show me you're ready to go. You know what I mean? You're ready to go. Like when you talk about Rob consistency, right? The ups and downs. This is where we want to go. We want to go a 6-2 piece to feel good. We don't want to be 2-6 going into this, right? Because then we're all panic city here. All right. We are so panicked up if we go 2-6 through the 8. We got to be like a 6-2 run that really feel good going into the playoffs. Because I'm telling you, this team gets off to a rough start Saturday. We haven't had sports in so long. The internet will break. The internet will break if this team loses just Saturday, which really doesn't mean shit.
That's the type of team we have, Tommy. If it starts off good, it's probably going to be good. If it starts off bad, the shit's just going to roll downhill.
Maybe.
The good thing, though, is we can't lose the seeding. We are where we are. We can only go up, right?
Yeah, no.
So I see that as a
Yeah.
good thing
I'm
because
looking at these seedings. So you're
depending on
really
how the
bunched
first
up.
couple of games go, you're able to just to potentially start experimenting for what could come in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, so you might have some ups and downs through the 8, which I'm not like overly worried about. You know what I mean? Tristan, what's up, fam? What's up, Tristan?
What up, Chris?
Arrow, look at him, one and done. Oh, you crumble. You're such a crumble. Look at you, one and done. Jay Avocado, that's a veto. Sorry, Jay, I messed it up. Might go 5-3. I'll take 5-3 through that little stretch.
I think 5-3, 6-2.
How do you be critical of the guy for saying they're not going to win a playoff series? That's a legitimate take.
What? So every comment through 26 minutes now has been negative, right? So now the negative out of Pelotero, every comment.
Okay. I thought you meant all the comments from everyone.
No, and now he's talking about one and done.
Panetero, he's on he checks into the Sports Town on Monday. He's the most negative. He's the most negative guy ever. It puts me to shame. To shame.
I love him, but I mean, it's just it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, but like,
I just can't. Parker said he's ready for to hear the floor squeaking, yeah, and the whistles blowing. I just don't see the one and done. QB Eagles fan 89. I want Miami first. I'll take them. Let's go.
I don't want Miami at all. I don't want Miami at all first.
Scared money don't make money, Rob. I want one of the dogs. Come get me.
I'd rather have Boston. Than Miami. Miami's the number one team I don't want to see. I think they can beat Miami. Like, it's not impossible, but
Can I make a bet right here with Paltero?
They're well constructed. They're not as talented as the Sixers, but they're better constructed than the Sixers. Push comes to shove, I'm not going to be scared of Miami, but I'd rather play Boston.
All right. We've played Boston well this year, so I'm not against it. Palotero, one and done, prove me wrong. I'll bet you 2 cheesesteaks from whatever place you want. All right, that they're not one and done. All right, wherever place you want, you name the place. Don, I'm so scared for the NFL season. So am I, brother. We'll get into that another time, though. But I am too. Pootie,
yeah, you're a Lions fan. Of course, you're scared. You're a Lions fan. Come on, Don.
Then he shouldn't be scared because none of them opted out yet. While other guys are, so he's in a good spot.
Yeah, he's hoping Matt Patricia opts out.
About all the Patriots opting out. Like, they're not tanking for Trevor Lawrence.
For real. Pootie Tank says, give me the Celtics. So he's right with you. Gavin says he'd rather take the Heat than the Celtics. To me, I don't really care because I got to see him. I got to see him all if I want to get there. So, I mean, whoever you want to give me, I got to beat him anyway. So it is what it is. Let's go get him. Jay says, make the bet. Tell Palotero. He got quiet after the bet. And now look at him. Jimmy B's going to kill us.
He's probably that. I agree.
Shut up, Rob. I don't agree with any of it.
Jimmy B will be locked in if the Sixers play the Heat. He'll be locked in. He'll average 30 a night.
There's been 0 positive comments out of him. And so that means I can't agree with anything you say then. No matter if you might be right or wrong, I'm not.
It's not a good way to look at it. You're just
absolutely a good way to look at it. When your uncle negativity about everything, how can I take anything serious then? Because then you tell me nothing goes right ever.
I mean,
yeah, that's how that goes. That's exactly how that rolls. Because then you're never on the other side of any positive shit ever. You know what I mean? Like, you're that negative. Read the replay. I throw the red flag. I'm throwing the red flag out. Replay talk. Because I mean, if you scroll through this shit, you guys would be like, again. Tomorrow, you're like, oh, my God. I mean, was there any positivity?
I deal with them on Mondays, Tom. I know. Without them.
Oh, my God. Look at that. Eagles QB fan, if we are a one.
I think you said one and done.
Yeah. Is Brett Brown good as going? Yep. One and done.
You think?
Yep.
I don't think they have the stones to fire him because of this COVID stuff. They're going to give him 82 more, no matter what happens.
Ted FX, Milwaukee first round, don't want them. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather not have them first.
I don't want them first round, but I'll take them.
What
was the word saying?
Jay says, who would we play? We don't know yet. Probably Boston, most likely. Palotero, here we go. Our team is good, but we don't have a coach. I can agree on that one. A little positivity mixed with some rationale. All right. Because we all agree that at this point that I am no longer a Brett Brown supporter like I was. So now, the dogs are off the leash. Enjoy.
But even he used his quarantine in a good way and finally decided to move Ben to a 4 and get some other pieces on the floor to allow spacing and to allow a better, system through, the half court.
Well, what's so important to that, Greg? Your floor being willing to at least stretch it a little bit, right? So I think a big part of that is Ben's growth and willingness, right? That helps the coach out too. If you're never going to even stretch forward ever in this league, I can't have you play the 4 or the 1. But where the fuck can I put you? You know what I mean? So you got to at least give me like an elbow jumper, right? Just once in a while. You don't got to be crazy. Like I'm not talking about more than like 3 shots outside the elbow, period. You know what I mean? I want you to be aggressive going to the rim. That's where you make your money for me when it comes to him, right? So, like, be aggressive going to the rim. But that just helps you get to the rim a little easier. That's all. Why are we looking Mark Jackson or Jason Kidd? Right now. Stop it, Palatara. I'm not talking coaches right now. God damn it. God damn it. We're not talking coaches right now. Shit.
Well, then for Ben to work at the 4 on half-court offense, Shake's got to step up. Furkan's got to step up. Guys got to fill into that Ben Simmons half-court role if he's going to be down low or doing point forward stuff or stretch 4 stuff. And I don't know. I'm not the biggest Furkan guy. He can shoot in space, but that's not really about what the playoffs are. You need guys that can defend and be tough, and I don't know if that's Furkan.
He'll at least attempt it, though. He'll at least give you effort.
I mean, I can go out there and give you well.
Here's Daddy.
No, I'm saying, if I do love you some Furkan.
Protecting his son. Look at him come in. Whoa,
he'll get up in you as opposed to JJ Redick, right? Who would just like, hey. I mean, at least he'll attempt to play defense. You're right.
And that's why the Sixers lost.
At least he'll try.
Because JJ was useless in that series. If JJ wasn't making shots, he was useless.
Yeah, if you can't make shots, you can't play.
Finals last year.
By the way, the Twins are in their powder blues. Oh, they look so sexy.
Oh my god,
those uniforms.
Who? I got the Twins.
The Twins are in their powder blues.
I bet the Cardinals tonight.
Yeah, they're losing.
Quentin, my brother, what's up? He said the only team in the East that can beat us is the Bucks. That's it. I agree with you. I agree 100%. 100%. Palatera said he was joking. I know you are, brother. I like yelling at you sometimes. You know what I mean? When you're a little too negative. All right. Once in a while, you come in with some positivity, but you've been on the other side of it. I know. I mean, over 100 days here. I feel you. What else we got? He said, Tom, I do agree. Brink, who you got coming out of the East then? That's what Quinn wants to know, Rob.
It's really a 6-team race. Any one of the 6 can come out. Really.
That's the worst answer of all time.
I mean, I'm thinking about it. I mean,
you got a gun to your head, hypothetical gun. Here it is.
No, probably the Bucks. I mean, probably the Bucks. They have the best player. They have a great coach.
Sixers. That's who I got coming out of the East.
I can't get there with them yet.
I can. If you believe Ben can be the best player in the league, then like now, then why not?
If he shoots threes,
a couple,
already really good. Yeah, but I've seen the videos of him shooting before. I got to see it in a game.
We see it in the scrimmage.
Commit to them going to the finals. Okay, that's great. I seen it. He took 2 3 balls the whole year. And he swished them both. And he's still, I mean, if I'm out there and I take 2 threes and I squish them both, the second I get over half court, I'm launching. I don't understand where that mentality is. To see that mentality.
I think it's coming.
Okay.
I don't know if he's ever going to have a true shooter's mentality to what you're explaining, Rob, because that's a pure scorer sniper mentality of I'm always open. As soon as I cross half court, my shot's there, right?
That's what Ben haters want.
And he's never going to be that. But if he's a willing shooter, and a confident willing shooter, he's going to be just fine.
If he's open, you shoot it. That's how it goes. If you're open, bury it. Simple.
But, like, is Brett? I hope that Ben moving to the 4 is Brett shifting the team philosophy from the ridiculous space and pace philosophy he had to try to fit the new NBA and chase the Warriors, which the Sixers aren't built to do, to a pick and roll offense, which I've been screaming about for 2.5 years.
Yeah,
You have Joe, you have Ben, you have Josh Richardson's a tremendous cutter. Like, his team needs to run pick and rolls.
Yeah, I remember thinking. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, Dom. The few pieces I've watched of the scrimmages, I did see more pick and roll, even with Ben, in the pick and roll than I have in the past.
Yeah,
So
but the
maybe-
problem is you can't
really
pick and
only
roll
saw
with
one
him
scrimmage.
if he's not willing to shoot it, right? So the pick and roll with Ben, if he's not going to shoot it, then it's not pick and roll. But it doesn't work in my opinion. But I think he's going to be aggressive. I think he's going to be willing to shoot it if open. The one thing I always love about Ben Simmons is he's going to make everybody around him better, and that's a killer too, right? Like, there's two ways to kill people: make everybody around you better, right? Okay, just be tremendous, or be a freaking sniper and a killer. Two ways to kill people in the NBA. There's two ways to do it. If you can make that everybody around you that much better because you're just that good, that works too, in my opinion. So Quentin says nobody's scared of the Bucks. Giannis need another player with him. Philly got too many bigs. Our lineup is 6'7", and all people are underestimating that. I said it's the longest basketball team in the Eastern Conference. Ain't nobody want to see us. Ain't nobody want to see us. Ain't nobody want to see us, Rob. Nobody.
I think Quentin is drastically underrating Chris Middleton, but that's just me, I guess.
I don't think Chris Middleton and Giannis are as good as Ben and Joe combo. I don't think so. Nope. I love Chris Middleton, but no.
The problem is Giannis is by far the best player of that. Yeah, he is. Stop it. Come on.
It's coming close. First off, he's not that much better than Joel Embiid when he's on the court. When Joel Embiid's on the court, he's not that much better.
When he's on the court.
But that's still a valid argument because he's going to be on the court, we expect. So I don't think he's
sure. I'm not sure.
The two of them are not better than Joe and Ben. No shot. No.
And to Quentin's point, we absolutely dominated. Now, granted, we did hit 27 million threes, but defensively wise, we dominated Giannis on Christmas Day.
The Sixers match up very well with Milwaukee. By far the best. Milwaukee, I can't speak to the other team. I don't know how it's going to work out. The Milwaukee Bucks don't want to see the Sixers at all. I'll say that.
I agree with you, Lord. The bench is top heads and tails above last year's bench.
The bench is heads and tails above the whenever before the trades happened. I mean the bench was atrocious before they went out and got Burks and Glenn Robinson. Okay,
I've really
atrocious.
I've really only seen one scrimmage, and that was the Sunday game against the Thunder, and Burks was filling it up. So
he has
that
the
made
ability to. So when you got a guy like that and Furkan off your bench that are capable of lighting lamps for a minute, that's what helps you win in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Burks in crunch time can handle the rock. It can be, a leader of a group of five that needs to be on the floor.
Yep.
So who's the five? Who do you think who's the five going to be? Like, who are the starting? Like, it's Shake, it's Rich, it's Ben, it's Joe, and it's
Tobias.
Horford's on the bench with Burks and Furkan
and Glenn Robinson and that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which I like because that's like a good second unit. That's a really good second unit.
Norvell Pell.
No, but he's not going to play in that second unit. You know what I mean? But that's if you ran out a second unit, it's a good.
Yeah, you need a guy like Norvell Pell on your bench, though. I'm a big fan.
No, you absolutely do. He's a gummy like
starter, and he's not going to take over a game. But you need a guy like Norvell Pell on your team if you want to go to the NBA Finals, Eastern Conference.
And he hit that turnaround three the other day.
I wouldn't get carried away with that one. I mean,
Pop says Embiid has guarded him good when he's guarded him in terms of Giannis. He absolutely has.
I think it was Quentin's point. Yeah, I mean, you look at
I like Ben on
Bias,
Giannis if they play.
Bias, Ben, Joe, Al, Mike Scott. You know what I mean? Like you could throw 5-6 guys at Giannis and just go at him.
Mike Scott, I forgot about Mike Scott because he's been invisible the entire year. But if he come off the bench and make a few shots, that would be huge.
I mean, that'd be nice. Good to have you. Nice to have you.
What did he get? $5 million a year, and he got in a fight. He got in a fight at the tailgate, and no one's ever heard from him since.
Nope. Quentin says, "Give me Joe, Ben over Giannis and Middleton any day of the week. Ben and Embiid could be first team all defense. Ben is definitely all first team all defense.
Ben, I mean,
no
it's not even close. Ben's the defensive player of the year, right?
He should be. You're absolutely right. He should be.
I know you got what is it? Vogel out there in LA lobbying for his guys, LeBron to get MVP and Anthony Davis defensive player. I mean, Ben Simmons he's got to be the defensive player of the year.
I agree. Pooty said Richardson has kind of been quiet during the scrimmages. Yeah,
who cares about that? Stop with the scrimmages.
I hate
Joel Embiid stresses me out and gives me agita to no end. I don't give a shit that he hasn't played in a scrimmage yet. I don't care.
It's funny that he brings up Richardson though, because we were hoping to have Kai Carlin on, but he wrote a piece the other day saying that how Jay Rich has got to be very crucial to this restart and this basketball team now that he's healthy, because he's that guy on that starting five that doesn't necessarily need the ball but can still make an impact.
Well, a guy in the starting five that's going to get open looks.
Yeah, he's got to cover the other team's point guard.
Yep.
Then covering a forward. So that's a big assignment in playoff basketball. I need him to lock down Kemba. I need him to lock down Oladipo. I need him to lock down Eric Bledsoe, which, I mean, shouldn't be a problem. And who am I missing? Kemba and Kyle Lowry on Toronto. I need Josh Richardson.
Yep.
If he doesn't score a point in the entire game, you got to lock down that other team's point guard. So I need Ben. I need Ben on Siakam. I need Ben on Middleton. I need Ben on forwards.
I think Josh Richardson like an honorable mention, like third team defense, all defense. Like he has that capability to get real palmsy and aggressive and be up in you. Lord says Cork Miles was shooting 47% from three, fifth in the NBA, and would be a top 5 in Sixer history. He gets better than JJ and who's that? Brokoff is a poor man's JJ. Yeah, no, I'll take Cork Miles over JJ at this point. Absolutely. Gavin says, what's his face? Is shot blocking machine.
Norvel Pelle.
I love Norvel Pelle. I love this game. Like, I mean, I know he is what he is. But I like him a lot.
He reminds me of a no offense having Nerlens Noel. You know what I mean? Like Nerlens at least had a little bit of an offensive game, but he was like a Gumby. That's what Pelle reminds me of.
Stop. I mean, I agree with Ryan. If he plays more in a minute in the playoffs, except garbage time, he's
going to depend on Joel Embiid if he's engaged and healthy.
Well, no, because you got Al Horford.
I hear you, but I mean,
do you? Matthew Spills. Ben leads the NBA in steals per game, total steals, and he even missed time. Yeah, that's first team all defensive, not defensive player of the year, right there. Okay.
Ben's the best defensive player in basketball, and he's the best passer in the NBA, and he's the best facilitator in the NBA. Best. I just named 3 things that he's the best in the NBA at.
Yep.
And people still want to tell me he's not good because he's not Steph Curry.
Rob, I agree with you, Robbie. We agree on this one big time.
Oh, by the way, he can get you 10 boards a game too.
Oh yeah, and 10 assists and probably 3 steals. And Quentin Maurice, I think Toronto is going to compete. They are well coached. Wouldn't be surprised if it's Philly versus Toronto in the conference finals. Me either, brother. Me either.
Yeah, no, that's a very good call.
Yeah, he's not going to get rookie. Oh, he could. Palatero. Thibault should be rookie.
I forgot about Thibault.
Yeah, he's palmsy too.
He's coming off the bench, I guess.
Yeah, come off the bench. Robert Sanchez, the Sixers suck. This is why my Dallas Mavericks have beaten them 3 times this season. This is why we got CeeDee Lamb. Well, okay, CeeDee Lamb can't run a route, in my opinion, and the Mavericks are a one and done.
CeeDee Lamb's a hack.
All right, I'm tired of CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. Get out of here with CeeDee Lamb.
Quentin says, can't believe Nerlens Noel was a star in the process years. Yeah. Norvell makes me think of Nerlens. You know what I mean? Every time I see Nervell, I'm like, that Nerlens out there again? Yeah, couldn't believe it. Like we thought Nerlens Noel was going to change our franchise. That's cute.
He had that potential, but I mean, looking back, that was a horrible trade.
You just draft bigs till you hit on one, and thank God we hit on one.
I mean,
still wish we'd have got more for him. Still got boat raced in that trade.
Yeah, we had Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday, fucking stud, and we Nerlens Noel as the 8th man on a team. That's
No. I'm talking about the trading of Nerlens when we traded him. We got boat raced in that trade too.
Yeah, Mr. Process Sam Hinkie for being as big a genius and a big a savior as he's been. He got boat raced in fucking every trade he ever made.
That wasn't Hinkie. That was Colangelo.
Whatever. Everybody did. Palatero says who misses Robert Covington.
Remind me about the Nerlens. What did we get for what was the Nerlens trade?
It ended up being like Kyle Anderson and a protected first round pick that never even became a pick of ours.
Kyle Anderson's good. Sarcasm.
Where's he at? Is he in the playoff rotation this year? The Sixers?
No, it wasn't Kyle Anderson. Was it Kyle Anderson? Who was Simba, that lefty kid from Virginia? Justin Anderson.
Palatero, I love me some Landry Shamet, by the way.
Yes.
Matthew Spills, imagine adding the jumper to those three best categories. Absolutely, brother. That's what me and Rob are saying, and Greg.
Yep.
That now he becomes a top 5 player in the league when that becomes official.
One.
Well, listen, I love where your head's at, but just out of keeping it simple, I'll say top 5 because that's no question. No, you can't even. Nobody can debate that. You can debate number one. Debate top 5.
I like what Spills said there. He didn't say 3. He said jumper because it's never been about the 3. It's
right,
about
the
willingness to take the jumper, right? You know what I mean?
What have I yelled for years? Just hit me an 18-footer.
Yeah.
You know, just show people you can do it a little bit, and then they got to respect, and then boom, I'm buying. Palatero, fuck CD Lamb. Quentin Marie says, bum ass Justin Anderson. Yeah,
it was Bogut, Anderson, and a first rounder, but they bought Bogut out, and that first rounder never even turned into anything because it was so protected.
Of course it didn't. And then he says, Sixers fans always talk up bums. Every fan talks up bums. We talk about
blind apologists of Sam Hinkie talk up bums.
Oh, there's one up top there.
I'm not blind though, I can see.
Probably a big Tony Roten guy.
No, I hated Tony Roten.
Greg is a Roten guy?
No, I hated Tony Roten.
Like Who was the one big guy? Who was the one big guy out of Georgetown that was like, oh, everyone was like telling me, oh yeah, like he could play in the league on a contending team.
Michael Sweetney?
No. Maybe it was Jakar Sampson. Did you go to Georgetown?
Yeah, Jakar went to say, yeah.
Okay, that's him then. Yeah. Like, no, he can't. Like,
Lord, don't do this to me because I'll get.
Lord. Yes, Lord.
No, Greg, I'm going to get hot right now because all I'm going to tell you is that he tried to take the game from outside in back to inside out. That was where he was going with his picks. He was trying to dominate inside, high percentage shots. He was trying to take the game old school again, and the league didn't like the tank, so they ran him out, and that's fine. But
he didn't draft good enough. I have no problem. Look, I was on board with the process until all the picks that they took in the top 5 stunk. Okafor stunk. Nerlens stunk.
You still had to take it, though. Okafor you had to take still because you didn't know what you had in Joel at that point. And exactly what Tom said and Lord.
I was on board with Okafor pick, but it didn't work. When push comes to shove, it didn't work. And
yeah, but we ended up with Joel, though. Joel worked out, so that's fine. You throw 3 things of shit against the wall, and Joel's the one that
worked out too. Ben worked out too because you don't think he was taking him one? Come on.
I need more than 2 guys. I mean,
who else do you want in that? You know it's hit or miss. You got to play.
You also got to look at this too. He found Robert Covington. Not saying Rocco was good, but Rocco turned into Jimmy Butler, and then Jimmy Butler turned into what brought him here. You don't get Jimmy Butler without Rocco and Dario, who he drafted. Yeah, well, that's on Elton Brand. That's not on Sam Hinkie.
Okay. I'm with you.
Act like Tobias Harris was one of your top 5 picks. Is that a bad pick? No. It isn't, by the way.
No, he's a
No,
good player. He's
no,
overpaid.
I'm not saying he's a star or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, if you're telling me that they're my 3 top 5 picks that I came out with of this whole process, right? That's what I ended with, right? Because they're who's all tied the money to, right? Then I'm saying, hey, that's a good job. That's a good job. Now be on the court. Wrong?
I mean, I don't really want to relive the process. It was embarrassing, and I hated it. So I'm good with what we're doing right now, starting Saturday.
Okay. David Sterling.
Every second of it.
Adam Silver. Sorry, Adam Silver. Sorry, Adam.
How is that Adam Silver?
I don't want to upset you with the process. I know it really bothers,
No, I didn't like it. There's more.
What did you want? What'd you want, Rob? What'd you want, Rob? Be mediocre? Did you want to be mediocre? Because you're talking about not hitting top 5 picks. You want to start trying to hit top 20s? You want to start drafting in the 20s?
How many games did the Warriors lose on purpose?
Their whole lives. They were professional losers.
Not on purpose.
Oh, Mike, what's the difference?
They never had a roster.
What's the difference? What's the difference if you openly do it or secretly do it? What's the difference?
To me, there's a difference. If you don't think there's a difference, that's fine. Whatever.
I'm not going to relive it.
I don't really want
Would you rather be the Nets? Would you rather be the Timberwolves, who just out there openly try and win and they still suck?
Yeah, but the Nets are going to have Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant next year, and they're going to be
good.
And the Sixers have Joel and Ben.
Whose fault is Markelle Fultz? Whose fault is Markelle Fultz? Because that's essentially another hinky process pick because it carried over. All the losers just carried over for 4 years. So whose fault's that one? So Ben Simmons was hit, and then the next one was missed. That's the issue. So you should have 4. You should have 4 hits because you count the bias as essential hit because I had all the trades. Right? So you should have 4 hits. That's on Brian Colangelo now. So if Hinkie...
I don't disagree with that.
My opinion, if Hinkie makes all them picks, you got Jason Tatum in a Sixers uniform. If Hinkie makes all them picks, so he's making Ben Simmons, and he's going to make the next one number 1, and that's Tatum. The whole thing's changed now. So when you run a guy out, you can't finish seeing what he was trying to do. And that's not... I don't want to argue about it, but we didn't get to see the finish.
I didn't like the process. I didn't like it. I don't think they drafted
I didn't enjoy losing. I didn't enjoy looking forward to the fucking draft lotteries. Are you kidding, Rob? I didn't like that Adams. I didn't like the league stepping in and tell us how to run our team. Like I'm not. No. I don't like getting handed it a Colangelo. You understand me? I don't like getting handed a rat-faced bastard who screwed up my organization, essentially. Screwed up my process. Where one pick ruined the entire process. You understand that almost? One pick almost screwed the whole thing up. One freaking little infant screwed the whole damn thing up.
And he's still not ready to go in Orlando.
Will College. I can score Will College. I'm a freaking 30-9 college. Can't stinks when he came to the next level wearing freaking PJs and shit. Grow up, baby. This is the real deal now. The PJs aren't going on the Instagram account until you're dropping 25 a fucking night. Then you wear PJs everywhere. You wear PJs to the freaking arena, okay? But until that, get the PJs off. Sorry, had to get it out. Tired of seeing video hitman jumpers. At least Ben's a stud. Okay, and doesn't shoot the 3. The other guy stinks and doesn't shoot the 3. Well, he does now, but
and he's not even ready to go. He can't even play Orlando right now.
Do they? What would they want? Like a guy like Furkan, like that's just like a shooter and can't do anything else? I'd rather have the complete guy and hope he brings the shot along, which is the easiest part of basketball to develop. By the way,
so the question to the people are: out of the whole process, is it a win when you come out with? Hypothetically, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, and Tobias Harris. Is that a win?
It's like a B.
Okay. I think it determines on
it's a passing grade, but
until Ben's a finished product.
If they had a 4, if they came out with the 4, like if Fultz worked out or you end up with Tatum, then it's an A. But like to come out with 3 guys out of how many years of losing on purpose, blatantly losing on purpose, I don't know. I can't get.
But I also think that you can't always grade this until either Joe or Ben, and in this scenario, Tobias are gone, because whatever they're a part of it. You know what I mean? So if you trade, just hypothetically, you trade Joe for 8 and Booker, then obviously we restart this, and this continues because of what Joel was able to bring.
Don't you see? That's the beauty of the process. It never ends.
Exactly.
Well, listen, it was supposed to end with that last pick.
You like that. People like you, Greg, you like the aspect of that.
What, losing?
Well, yeah, because having assets. No, but having assets around.
And if it's not working, you can trade Joe and get a new batch in here. Like, oh, it's still trust the process. Like, no.
Well, no, I'm not the process. The trusting the process is over, but the process doesn't end until eventually we get to Broad Street.
Well, I agree with that, but the one thing I will say though is the losing had to end someday, right? And it did. But that did. But that had to be demanded to end, and it did. But what I will say is, if Colangelo isn't forced upon us, if the league actually rewards us like they should because we were the worst team all them years and actually give us and actually get the number one pick, how did things change? So you got to factor some of that stuff into the equation. But the bigger thing is that with the league giving us Colangelo, they purposely almost tried to tank our process, even with the number one pick, because the guys at Jabron, and we should have known he was going to screw the shit up like he did. And then Elton Brand, who I think is a smart basketball guy, maybe a little too early to be a GM. I think he's done a pretty good job for the most part, even though I think Horford he overpaid, but that's fine. Sometimes you got to overpay to try to get to where you want to get to. But that being said, I don't think he did a terrible job. I think the way he went about the Jimmy Butler, to still be able to get Josh Richardson here and get something for Jimmy Butler, I think the genius general manager move, personally. Okay, not just letting a guy walk out the door and getting nothing. Mm-hmm. I like that. Okay, you were forced to bias. You weren't letting both walk out the door. You couldn't. There's no way in hell. If both walked out the door, I'm crucifying them. So somebody had to get a max, and it just so happened to be Tobias. Will we ever live up to the max?
Tobias was fine with just sitting back, waiting for the Butler thing to play out and signing that max contract. What better situation is he going to get himself into? The guy he's on a different team every year. Now he's a max player. I mean, is it his fault that he's on a different team every year? No, because he's got a skill set. And he's a good player, but I mean, he couldn't sign that fucking contract fast enough.
Listen, I don't blame him, and I don't blame Elton for having to give it to him. I just can't blame him for having to give it to him. Because
you were boxed in when Jimmy Butler, whatever happened, he didn't want to play here. He wanted to go to Miami, whatever happened, but Jimmy wasn't coming here. He wasn't staying. They wouldn't go to the fifth year, or Jimmy didn't want to be here. I don't know what happened. But I'll tell you what, if we had Jimmy Butler instead of Tobias Harris, I feel I can't get my bets in fast enough for this team to win the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I don't know. The shot clocks I'll never get over.
Give me that dog that Joe and Ben need.
I don't know. I'll never get over the shot clock situation 3 times. So, I mean, time's yours on that one. But, if you're good with that in the biggest series to date, then okay. Like, Mr. Killer, Mr. Perfect, never did anything wrong.
8 points in the final 2 minutes of Game 7, and then Kawhi hit that shot.
All right. I love Jimmy. I'm just saying.
He's a dog, man.
Okay. Well, guess what? They played with him, didn't they, Rob? So then,
not long enough, in my opinion.
Enough to get a little dog in you. Enough to say no. This is our team. Enough to get a little dog in you.
What do you mean? Like, you wanted it to rub off on Ben and Joe quicker?
I think it did a little bit. I already think they're both dogs.
Imagine how much it would have rubbed off if they played whatever the 50 games they played before quarantine and then coming back.
Or rubs it the wrong way.
Or backfires and Jimmy, we turn the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Being
a dog and demanding perfection.
From a guy who's not perfect, though?
There's nobody perfect.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he has a lot to say about a lot of people all the time. So at some point, your act gets old too, because even on his way out of here, he's got a lot.
Who knows what really happened?
You can kiss his ass. You can kiss his ass, but I can look at trends. Everywhere you left, you had a problem with somebody. So when that continues, everywhere you go, who's the issue then? And I love the guy. Love it. Love the dog. I'm a dog lover. Okay? But at the end of the day, I got to call a spade and say, what's in your closet, brother? You understand what I'm saying, Rob? Because he's perfect. He never does anything wrong. It's always somebody else. Okay?
And he's also never won in the playoffs.
So who's he? Who's he to act like he's fucking LeBron? Like
I thought he fit well. I thought he fit well with our young team.
me too. But on your way out the door, you threw a lot of dirt on your way out the door. So the
He
fact
threw a lot of dirt on Brett.
no, threw a lot of dirt on Brett and Ben. So I don't like that shit.
I think him and Joe are buddies, and I think he had problems with Ben.
I agree, but that's not okay. Everywhere you go, to take shots at the kids every place you're at. Right? That's what he did, though. That's what he did. That's what he did on his way out of Minnesota. That's what he did on his way out of here. So when that continues, how much trust do I have in your opinion?
I don't know. How much trust do you have in my opinion?
Not yours, his.
No, he's talking about Jimmy's.
Yeah.
when you're always the odd man out of every situation, is it the situation or is it you?
He's obvious. He's got to look. I mean, I can't really sit here and defend Jimmy's character, but I can defend him as a player and what I saw and the way I think that he should have fit here with Ben and Joe.
Well, that's on him too, though, because like everybody just gives him a free pass. All right, now he wasn't.
What if the Sixers wouldn't give him the 5th year?
Come on, man.
He's old.
Come on, man. You're giving him the freaking 5th year over a 28-year-old Tobias Harris. It's no brainer who I'm giving the max to. And I like Jimmy more, but it's no brainer who I
agree with
the max to.
I don't agree with that.
I'm not giving a max to a player.
Jimmy Butler is closer to the best player in the league than Tobias Harris is. Period.
But not at 35. When now Tobias is 31. Big difference, brother. Big difference.
I mean,
in production. This isn't a one-year thing here. This
the
isn't.
Bucks, and he's 35 already. So clearly they're not scared of that part of it. They're trying to win now.
I'm just saying what Quentin's saying. He takes zero accountability for anything. It's always somebody else. At that point, you're not a dog anymore. At that point, when you can't take accountability, the dog that I see in you goes away. Now you're a fraud. There's a difference. There's a difference of a dog and a fraud. He's a dog / a fraud. That's what he is. That's what he is. Everywhere he goes, somebody else. Somebody else. Not me. I'm perfect.
He's a dog when it's going good, but when it's going bad, he's real colors show.
I agree with you, Ryan. Markel has
Pretty
talent.
good closing the games when Joe and Ben weren't capable of it when he was here. Didn't want
He's the veteran.
mentality, like whatever you want to put that off to. Jimmy was closing games here when Joe and Ben weren't.
Okay. Well, they got to grow in the closing game.
Game in the playoffs. Tobias is not closing a game in the playoffs.
Let's find out. We're going to find out if Joe and Ben can close games in the playoffs. Quentin wants to punch Jimmy in the face.
I think we're going to find out. So I think we're going to have to go through the heat to get to where we want to go.
Ethan Wenger, did I say it right?
What up, Eth?
Says, what's up? What did I miss? Well, we're talking, Ben Simmons will silence his haters in Orlando, agree or disagree, and then, we get off and we start talking other bullshit. But the last question I have for you guys is what's considered successful with the restart?
You got to win me a playoff series. Start there.
Greg?
I'm going get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Eastern Conference.
Because I still need to see growth, right? I know everything's thrown out. Everything's weird right now. The situation is different. However, it's different for everybody. And your best player, our best player, has said, get me to the playoffs, kind of a la Ryan Howard, just get me to the plate, boys. Joel said, I'm ready for the playoffs. So when you get to the playoffs, you better be ready to go. And our next stop is the Eastern Conference Finals.
Facts. I'm right with you. Matthew Spills at that point, you're not a dog anymore. You're a Karen. Yep, that's about right. That's about right. Everybody's saying finals berth. Ryan, Quentin.
I bet him to win the NBA Finals just because I love the odds. You know what I mean? And that's the fan in me. But I don't know. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah,
I took the Lakers. I
draft
took the
picks.
Lakers in it.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that. There's no shot I'm ever betting the Lakers.
There's odds. There's no odds in it, but they're gonna win the championship. Everyone in the East is playing for second because the NBA champions, whichever LA team fits your eye better, that's who's winning the championship.
We're gonna find out. But let's segue into a little baseball here, and then we can get into the dumbest thing of the week. But obviously, Phillies, on a little hiatus right now. Supposedly a doubleheader on Saturday, hopefully.
Maybe 2 7s.
Really gonna do that? That'd be.
They're seriously taking that. They're having that discussion now because of obviously it's come up now with the Phillies, and it might come up with rain delays.
Yeah, and you guys are gonna have to fill me in on the latest and greatest in the news today because I've been at work all day without my phone, so I'm a little blind coming into the show tonight.
Well, I mean, nothing really happened.
I thought it was going to be Friday. Now it's Saturday. I really hope they reset the rotation. Like I need Nola and Wheeler on the mound as much as possible. Wheeler looked terrific on Saturday.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't realize he threw that hard.
I knew he threw that hard. I didn't realize he threw that hard late. You know what I mean? What I liked in the 7th inning, he was still
when
at 97, 98.
Yeah. I didn't realize he was a flamethrower like that.
Yeah,
so
because he was a Met, I never really paid attention to his late inning velocity.
Like he was dead to me. He might as well have been throwing 85 in the middle every
And
time.
I know, I didn't. Noah's opening start, I didn't mind it. He just missed 2 pitches.
He made one mistake.
If
He hung a
you take him
curveball.
out. You take him out in the 5th. He has a good start. Not a great start. Not the start that you want from your ace. But if you take him out in the 5th,
he's a notorious. Like kind of his whole career, he kind of peaks like say the season started on time. Like this is when Noah would be like rounding into his great. So like Noah made one. He hung that curveball, which was bad. But I mean, I can't crush a guy for making one bad pitch. I mean, the bats didn't wake up until. JT hit that 3-run shot on Saturday.
On Saturday, right?
And then they busted that game open, and then they got Sunday was really hard to watch, fellas. I don't really want to rehash it that much, but Sunday was really, really tough to watch. Like one of the most excruciating regular season baseball games I've ever watched. I mean, you get the bases juiced every inning. You leave 16 guys on base, and like no one can bash them in.
And then you have 2 veterans with infield flies with the bases loaded.
2 or 3 infield flies.
You're right. You can't have that.
But like up until the Marlins got to 11 on Sunday, I thought the Phillies were going to win 11-10, 12-10. Like they're going to get guys on, and someone's going to step up and bash them in. Harper, walk off. Maybe Reese, God forbid, would barrel something up instead of not even pretending he's at bat until he's down 0-2.
I'm in, Rye.
No.
You definitely have to throw.
I crushed Reese Hoskins.
No.
I crushed Reese Hoskins on Monday.
Real quick. The Noel Wheeler Arrieta Howard, that's fine. Fulton-Evans, no.
No, you're not even going to claim? You don't even take a look at him?
No, because he lost 8 miles an hour in his velocity over the last 2 years. So what's the issue?
Did you watch Sunday's game?
Did you watch?
No, I didn't.
His velocity is going down big time. Big time.
I understand that.
I didn't
but
realize
I mean,
that.
at this point,
But
maybe
he's
you
not
can
better
put him
than
in the
Vince.
Girardi and the coaches. We see it all the time in baseball. Look at Sonny Gray. He's like Pedro Martinez
I
now.
was going to take my shot in F1. I'm going with Howard, but I'm going to take my shot with F1 at this point.
Is Howard up?
No, but
I'm talking about Martinez as a bullpen guy. I don't want him in my rotation unless.
Listen to me. Would you listen? I'm saying that I'm good with Howard, this rotation that he's saying, but I wouldn't pick up away from Fulton-Evans. I would move Velasquez to the pen, all right, and I would just have F1 as my fit. That's it. That's how I would do it.
Is Howard up?
Not yet, but I'm going over his list on who his starters would be.
I understand. It's right there on the screen. I see it.
Yeah, that's all. So I'm making sure we're on the same page. I'm not.
Yeah. I got you.
When he's up,
But I need the kid up.
I agree.
If they restart,
And I don't want to hear any more about the fucking Super 2 rule. I don't give a fuck.
that's where it's going. If you reset the the rotation, by the time he gets to start on Sunday or Monday, that would be he'd be up probably. He was supposed to be up on Thursday.
But you understand,
the 6 games.
Super 2 rule is what Oakland does, what Tampa Bay does. These teams that don't want to spend money and just want to.
Well, what do you think we are?
Not the Philadelphia Phillies in the 5th major market. I don't want to hear anything more about the Super 2 rule.
They're not going over the luxury tax, so obviously they're worried about it. So whether you want to hear it or not, they're not signing guys because of the luxury tax.
I don't want to hear that.
I don't disagree with you.
You got major money coming off this
the way
winter.
you got to do it.
You got Arrieta, you got Tommy Hunter are going to be out. I can't re-sign Didi Gregorius fast enough. I can't re-sign JT Realmuto fast enough. So obviously, that's a chunk of change. I don't know how you guys feel about Rhys Hoskins, but there's no way I'm giving him any kind of major money to play first base for me. So maybe that's a piece you can move for some, either rebuild the farm or get some pitching in here to kind of balance this squad out.
Rebuild the farm. That's fucking cute. With who? Who's rebuilding the farm? The GM? The GM's a jackass. So I mean,
well, I'm just saying. I don't think. Main point being, because Clintac does stink. Main point being is, I don't think Rhys Hoskins is a big money player. He's free to prove me wrong, but I'm getting sick and tired of him watching every first and second pitch, either a hanging curveball or a fastball right down the middle, so he can lead the league in pitches seen, and his bat doesn't even start till it's 0-2. I don't want my first baseman in the fucking 2-hole.
I don't care about the 2-hole as much as this. I'll tell you what I care about. All right, I care about one thing. All right, and what every legitimate baseball person says. Okay, anybody that has a clue about hitting talks about. All right, is I am aggressive hunting fastballs early in counts. I'm aggressive if it's not fastballs, hunting pitches in my zone early in counts. I'm aggressive. If I do get, I cannot be scared to be down 0-2 by being aggressive. That's when I hunker down. That's when the fight starts, okay? But early on in counts, you have to be aggressive. The better hitters in baseball are aggressive early on in counts, all right? They hunt. Now, the really good ones can be 1-2, 2-2, and still get jobs done. So that's the difference of great hitters compared to just hitters. Like if you look at Sanchez for the Yankees, I love the way he goes about his business at the plate, because that son of a bitch will swing out his shoes early in counts and look like a completely different hitter down 0-2. Spitting on curveballs. 0-2. Spitting on what? Like, you know what I mean? You just swung out your shoes for 2 pitches trying to Jack City. Now, I don't want him Jack City, but I want Rhys Hoskins trying to Jack City and not drop his back shoulder all day. You can make all the goddamn adjustments you want, brother, but when your hands aren't above a baseball, you're going to stink, okay? So when everything's here, you stink. Sorry, not sorry. That's how it works. If you can't figure that out at the big league level, nobody's going to be able to help you. If I see another pop-up 200, 500 feet in the infield, sorry, Greg, then go ahead. If I see another 500-foot pop-up in the infield, I'm going to lose my damn mind. You're popping up 500 feet in the infield. How bad are you dropping, honey? Sorry, Greg, go ahead.
No, I was just going to compound on that. You get that early fastball, you can't miss it. You can't miss fastballs. You can't.
So right. You can't miss them. I mean,
I agree though, Rob. I don't know if Hoskins is going to be that guy. The thing that's tricky though is after this year, his arbitration starts, so it's going to be tricky how potentially a third party views his career and his the difference between what he wants as a contract and the team.
I think that would work in our favor because Clintac's the guy who wants his at bat to start 0-2, the analytics guys. I think an arbitrator might say, "Yo, you're playing first base, like you're not doing any damage, kid. Like you're gonna be on that low end."
Well, I mean, listen, if you're not in 162, if you're not hitting 35 and driving in 100, you're not a guy who can play first base for me at this level. You know what I mean? Like you're just not. I need power production. I'm good with Segura at third. So I need more out of Rhys power wise for the other corner spot. But I think like your power you get out of DD and Segura sort of evens out not having that pure power guy at third base. But
Right.
I need Reese in a 162 sample size to hit 35 out of the damn ballpark.
Yeah, but Kingery,
You need it from one side of your corners. You need it from one side.
Absolutely.
If you're not going to get both, you need it from one side.
Facts.
yeah, but Kingery kind of evens out the power because he's got more pop than the average second baseman.
Well, we'll find out.
We'll see.
I mean, I'm not like, I love the kid, right? I truly do. I think being back in your natural position should help, okay? But in no way, shape, or goddamn form throughout this little 60 game run am I going to give a damn free pass. He has to hit.
Giving him a free pass, but they did sign him to an 8-year, $64 million extension.
Well, I got to remember who signed him. And then second, he's got
Doesn't
to.
matter who signed him; he's here.
I understand that. I just don't trust the guy who signs guys. But
I don't trust
do
the guy
like
who
Scott
signed him either.
I do like Scott Kingery, but he's got to hit, Rob. That's all my point is. He's got to swing the bat. He's got to hit. He's got to make that contract be a steal. He has to.
Mhm.
He has to if they want to
Especially
play small market.
And especially as we're starting to get to his higher values. Oh, I don't think it's this year, but like either next year or the year after, he starts to hit that $4 or $5 million to where if he's outplaying that, then we made out on this deal. If he's not outplaying that, then we're overpaying for him.
I think him at $8 million a year over the next 8 years. I think he's going to outplay that. I think he's going to be fine.
Right, well, this will be outplayed to me. I'm not even going to okay, nice. Red Sox won. Good. 6-5 over the Mets. Got a little dicey there. Dicey.
It went split screen on ESPN because LA's in extras.
Yeah, I'm watching that one too.
No.
We're on
Do you think we see Bohm this year or no?
You know what, Rob? Can I tell you something? I have a lot of confidence in him moving forward. Just my assessment on seeing a few at bats, and you guys can take it for what the fuck it is. You know what I mean? But is a little long right now. So with a swing, and that's fine. A lot of kids are. So do I expect them to play a significant role for this team? No. I expect more Howard as a significant role for this team, but I do see him getting maybe some run. I do see, if guys are struggling, like a guy like Reese, I could absolutely see him get a little run. Now, take the position from him. I'm not saying any of that, but if you come in and you start jacking baseballs, anything's possible. You know what I mean? But I do expect some run. Just not sure how much.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think outside of an injury to either Gene or Reese, then I don't think you see much of him outside of just maybe a couple pinch hits here and there, a random start here or there. But I agree. I don't think you see much of him. I just think he's around to be around the ball club and to be around pros right now.
Why can't you DH Reese and put him at first?
I just think it's too much for the kid right now. I agree with Tommy. Like, his swing just isn't there right now to be thrust into a huge role for the major league team. Now, an injury happens and you're forced to do that, then hey, sack up and let's go. I do think though, if he does play, it would be more at first base because I think that's where Girardi likes him most.
Real quick, and I tell you what I would do, guys. And I'll switch this up a little bit. I would run Hazley out the left more often. I would put Quinn in center more often, and I would DH McCutchen more often.
That's fine.
Because what I noticed, him running isn't the same right now. He doesn't have.
I saw that early too. A little bit of a hobble, right?
Yeah, and that's fine because I expect that right now. The trust, right?
Yeah.
So let's just relax him a little bit, man. Let's just take that wear and tear off of him. Both Hazley and Quinn can flat out pick it out there, so I ain't concerned about that. And
I'm a big Hazley guy.
Yeah, Hazley got a cannon.
Big Hazley guy. I mean, I don't understand why he's not. Takes him till Sunday to get in the lineup, but then he gets in the lineup Sunday, plays center, leads off, double, triple, single, home run short of the cycle. He's a 7th pick in the draft.
He's got to pan out though, right? You're absolutely right.
Got to play to give the chance to pan out. Secondly, I would like Roman Quinn in my outfield because he covers so much damn ground. When he's healthy, I want to be able to play good defense. And
yeah,
third,
I like that factor in the ninth.
I don't want McCutchen out of my lineup right now. So I got like the ability to DH gives you the ability to take the wear and tear off the knee until you feel like he's ready, and then it gives you the ability to now play your big-time prospect and Adam Hazley every day, and it allows you to get the most out of Roman Quinn you can get until he's on the DL. So you try to, like, you know, I love Roman Quinn if he's healthy. Love him because I love that skill set in today's game still. I love a guy who can get on first and be on second. It's still so important today.
Be on third quick, too.
Yeah, I didn't want to get that cute, but I agree with you. I agree with you.
He's really fast.
Yeah,
Really big double by Betts there.
You know, he reminds me of, like, in center field, who covered a shit ton of ground back in the day. Juan Pierre.
Mace Hayes.
Juan Pierre covered a shit. Juan Pierre used to get the balls, and you're like, dude, how did you get to that baseball?
Yeah, he used to kill us when he was in Florida.
The big ballpark in Miami, he used to track everything.
Juan Pierre and Luis Castillo still give me nightmares as 1-2 in that lineup.
Luis Castillo 3-2 to first base. Who the fuck's throwing that out, dude? You better be quick as shit to throw that out all the time.
Yeah, from the left side, too.
Yeah, 3-2 to first.
Brad still has nightmares about those two, too.
Good. He should.
03, they just ripped their hearts out.
And a little Josh Beckett. Yup, I'm sure. I'm sure that.
And but who do you like? I like Hazley leadoff a lot. I don't really like McCutcheon. I don't like how Girardi stacked the lineup over.
Well, can I tell you something too, though, that matters? Is like when you take over a new club, and especially the way this went on, you know what I mean? To me, you just almost got to feel, you go by pedigree first and what you think, and then you start going off of what you know. And
yeah,
I think, and I think,
love the lineup Sunday.
Yeah, I just think that takes a minute to sort of learn your guys again, right? Because you miss so much time together. So I'll give them passes on some lineups that I didn't like early on. But I agree.
Fine.
I agree with you Sunday. But McCutcheon's pulling off every ball right now. So I mean, to me, I just DH him, let him relax, take the pressure off playing the field. All right, and let's see what we can do.
Which is strange, too, because I thought opening night on Friday, he hit a couple balls hard just right at some guys. You know what I mean? To where, like, it was like, oh, man, McCutcheon looks like he's just there. And then, but you're right, the rest of the weekend, it was step out, pull out city.
Yeah, and I just think, you could take that off of him, right, guys? It's just not necessary because, honestly, he'd be a perfectly good DH. And the way Hazley batted in the leadoff the other day, I mean, how do you not put him right back?
That's the first time we've seen Hazley in the leadoff. When under coconut oil, he was always down 7-8 in the lineup. That's the first time we've seen him in the leadoff. You know, I see why Hoskins might be the 2-hole. I agree. I don't want him there, but in terms of seeing pitches, in terms of getting on base in front of Bryce, in terms of trying to get him as many at bats to get rolling, those points I get and I understand, but I don't need my 2-hole hitter walking 800 times a weekend. No. I need a baseball driven once or twice.
I mean, listen, I love guys getting on base. I'm a big fan of guys getting on base. Huge fan of that, honestly, okay? But not from a guy who's supposed to hit 40. Like, you know, I have no problem with you walking because you're going to hit 40. But I can't have fucking 7 walks in a weekend. Like and then pop up city when you do contact. Like, you know what I mean? How about 7 walks and 2 homers, right, in 3 games? Then we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 7 walks, no balls driven. I got, that's cute.
Don't you think hitting him 7th or 6th, that can maybe get him going rather than more at bats that he's just not doing anything with?
I would put him in positions to see more fastballs. Absolutely. Wherever that may be. Maybe 6, not 7. I think 7 is too far down. I think 6 is a good spot. You try to put him in like another leadoff role in a way, but you're going to see more fastballs. If you
go Hazley Segura 1-2.
I'd be good with that. I think you put Segura in the 2-hole.
I don't like Hutch up there either right now.
No, I think Gene handles the bat better than anybody on this baseball team, honestly. Overall, I would definitely bet Segura in the 2 because I just think he handles the bat better. You know, or you could do some mix-ups. You could put Quinn in the 2 once in a while, depending on what kind of style you want to play that day. You know what I mean?
Right.
You could, because he's almost like another leadoff there. If you want guys on base for Harper and Real Muto, he's almost like another leadoff there. And then you also got the ability to lay one down at any time too.
If Hazley smokes a double like he did all day Sunday, you bunt him over the 3rd. Now Bryce has got a guy on 3rd with less than 2 outs for his first at bat of the game, and he's licking his chops.
And then you put Hoskins more of a power situation where you force it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You almost force it in the 6 hole. Like, you going to drive something down here or what? Love to have you.
Well, I didn't realize Sonny Gray struck out 11 today. I knew he pitched well opening day. Wow, 11's aggressive.
Yeah, unbelievable. Was with the same pitching coach he had in Oakland.
I guess that's why the Reds were the trendy, sexy pick coming out of this shortened season in the Central.
Yeah, I like the Reds a lot. I bet the Indians.
They get mashed. They get mashed too.
Yeah, I bet the Indians and the Padres to win the World Series. We'll see. It's gonna be something weird. Something weird's gonna happen. Like, everyone talks about the Yankees, Dodgers. Like, I'll bet anyone right now that that's not the World Series. It never works out like that.
No, especially in a shortened season too, when the better team can't take over, take the long run play. You know what I mean?
I think a lot determines, and people might laugh at this, but if Houston can swing it, there's still a wild card in this mix too. Any team that can get hot with their bats.
Well, I mean, everybody makes the playoffs, so.
No, and I mean that. Like, any of these teams that get hot with, like, to your guys' points, like any of these good baseball teams, and there's a lot of them. The Braves, the Astros, the list goes on teams that can swing it, right? So,
tie game.
Yep.
Wow.
So the matter is the Padres, who Pelotero said.
I love the Padres. They're so well constructed for October. I love them.
You know what I mean? So anybody gets hot, us included. Like, if our lineup's what we think,
the Royals, anybody.
Yeah, well, let's calm down there. But you're right.
Royals can smoke the baseball.
We'll see, Rob. I mean, let's calm down.
I'm just saying, a team that nobody expects.
Hitter in baseball, okay, in April last year, that aged well. So let's calm down on the Royals.
He hit 2 home runs. He hit 2 home runs the other night.
I know. Now he's fucking Babe Ruth again, and I used to know, but I can't.
But I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't surprise me at all that if a team
wins one, Rob,
no one expects to be good, rattles off like 45, 48. Maybe that's a lot, but you know what I'm saying. Is like some number 1 seed that no one expects.
Yeah, but we're seeing it early that we're seeing it sort of early that it's playing the par sort of early here. I mean, I know it's early, but it's already starting to play the par. So to me, yes, because everybody makes the playoffs essentially, that there's going to be those sleeper teams that knock off the Dodgers, maybe knock off the
Dodgers, the king of choking.
Yeah, right. I love your Dodgers pick, but I can't do it. I mean, Dave Roberts is fucking clueless. So until that changes, the Dodgers could have the greatest lineup in the world, which essentially they have, and they can go against righty-lefty and make it better. It's ridiculous. But the fact of the matter is, and Mookie Betts is like one of my favorite players in baseball, I can't take him with a straight face, even though I think they should be there.
I love the kid they got, May.
Yeah, Dustin May.
That kid's a stud, man.
He pitched well today. He didn't get, he struggled in the second inning, so his pitch count was up. So he didn't get through 4, but he pitched decent today. I mean, it was a 1-1 game.
I don't care about his stats. I watch him play, and I mean that guy's electric.
Yeah.
Who pitched for the Nats tonight?
Scherzer
again.
That's cute.
I mean, that's typical Scherzer. He's a guy that's
having a third 10 Ks.
No, you're right. All right, boys. Well, we'll see what the Phillies bring to the table on Saturday, and
hopefully Saturday.
Yeah, hopefully we get it back.
Yeah. We'll talk about them. Dumbest thing of the week, anybody?
Dusty Baker.
What did Dusty do?
Well, I mean, look. First off, Joe Kelly getting 8 games for hucking the ball at Carlos Correa for. I mean, that whole situation. I can't believe it waited a whole 3 games for someone.
He went at Bregman first, so I was watching it live. It was great watching it.
Okay, but whatever. But like for him to get 8 games for that and a game that's supposed to police itself, that's a joke. And then Dusty Baker's like, we don't care. We don't care that he threw at him. We care that because he's talked smack because I think he eventually struck out Correa or something. and he talked trash to me like
And he
spit.
said, "Nice swing." Yep.
Nice swing, you bitch. And then Dusty Baker goes in the press conference. We don't care that our guys got thrown at. We don't like that he talked mean to us. Like, shut up, Dusty. Like,
raw.
I'm so out. I'm so out on the Astros. Like, karma's going to be a bitch to them this season. I'm rooting for them to fall flat on their face because whatever, they cheated. I don't care about that. Half of that's gamesmanship. I don't care about the sign stealing. But, I mean, let me get like a free pass for getting – like, everybody cheats. So for you to get caught cheating, that means you really, like, stepped over the line, stepped out of pocket. Now you're going to be, like, a fucking bitch about it. Like, shut up, dude.
Yeah,
like,
be able to take the heat. Be able to take the heat. I agree with you. Be able to take the heat. Then go out.
Bregman did, Bregman did in that at bat. Now, granted, it was 98 to head. That's a little aggressive. I'm not a fan of that.
You don't think he blatantly threw over his head?
Yeah, but it was still head high to where Bregman still had the duck. Like I said,
yeah, but these guys have pinpoint accuracy. If you wanted to hit him in the ear hole of his helmet, he would have hit him in the ear hole of his helmet.
Did you watch the video? Joe Kelly warming up this summer, hitting the window, not his net that he was thrown into.
Look.
If
he wanted to hit him in the head or above the shoulders, I think he would have.
I just think
it was a blatant fuck you.
I don't care. Throw at him.
I'm throwing it over your head. And if he wanted to jump and inflict harm, he would have hit him right in the ribs or hit him or tried to break his fingers or break his hand.
At the end of the day, I agree with you. 8 games is ridiculous for a game
that's my dumbest thing of the week. You know what I mean?
God.
It's the suspension after giving the Astros a free pass.
Yep. Can't have it both ways here.
Can't have it both ways.
And
like you don't
you don't drop a hammer like that. It's one thing to drop 8 games in 162 games.
Yeah.
To drop 8 games in 60, that's a hammer.
Well, because they don't understand what's going on.
Like, does baseball police itself or does it not police itself? What is
nothing, Rob, anymore?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? It ties into my dumbest thing in a week. So we're all on the same page. Guess who? Guess who again? Major League Baseball. All right. And for so many reasons. For a ton of reasons.
Oh, they're a shit show right now.
The fact of the matter is you had the ability to bubble off in Tampa and bubble off in Miami. Both dome stadiums and play games daily, right? You could have pulled it off. Could have. And in Arizona. All right? So there's 2 places you could have essentially pulled it off with a bubble situation. Now, what you guys decided to do is say, you know what? We're going to travel, which I was okay with because I'm thinking guys are staying home or staying in hotels, right?
Yeah.
Not run them rampant. But you allow guys to do whatever the fuck they wanted. And then it cost a mess the first weekend in. Like, are you guys kidding me? How dumb are you? How dumb are you? NBA says we're bubbling in freaking Disney. Major League Baseball says we're good. Business as usual. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like,
to be fair, though, one team.
Like, Greg, you know what we talked about, Greg, that we kept forgetting about was that we always talk about rain in Florida, right? Rain in Florida. What we didn't think of is the 2 domes that they initially talked about playing games all day there. Remember? And the other teams are going to wait AAU games in the stands. Like, they had it all figured out, right? And it's pro ballpark, so the dimensions work, everything works. All right. Same thing in Arizona. They butchered this shit. Regardless how it plays out from here on out, there's no way in hell that you should, when you're allowing travel, which is fine because you kept the travel close, right? But when you allow travel, you almost have to shut it down when you get to where you get to, besides going to the ballpark. And I know it's easier said than done, but you can't have guys just doing whatever the fuck they want to do because it won't work. Because we're going to lose too many stars for a week or 2, you know what I mean? And then, or at least 2 weeks, right? And then everything just becomes a mess. Everything becomes a mess. We want a season to finish, right? That's what we want. How does Rob Manfred, how is he the only guy out of the big sports to say, we don't got a bubble. We can just roll around like it's 2019. And the Marlins screw shit up for us right now. because we were doing it the right way, it looks like. You know what I mean?
Everybody was doing it the right way.
As I'm saying, there's only one team.
Well, Greg, one team screws up a lot of shit.
It does. You're right.
So the fact of the matter is, you either
But I'm saying, but the problem isn't rampant though. It does affect a lot, but it's not like there's a lot of teams with outbreaks. You know what I mean? That's where I was going. You know what I mean? You're absolutely right. It becomes a scheduling nightmare now, and there's now all these different scenarios that have to be in play. But at least there's only one team with outbreak. You know what I mean?
I understand that, but one can lead to others. And the fact of the matter is, you have to change shit up when it just would have been simple bubble. Let's go 60 games. It's not a long season here, right? Right? You're not away that long, and bubble off. If not, you have to restrict it in the hotels. So you can't have it both ways here. And like the NBA, like Ryan's saying, best commissioner Adam Silver, because to me, he's the guy who's willing to spend the bucks to be able to make sure his season goes as planned. Now, will the NFL be willing to spend the bucks? To Gavin's point, they better, or it won't work.
It makes the most fucking money.
It won't work unless they bubble. Too many fucking guys. Too many guys.
To piggyback on that, Tom, like, we barely got 60 games, let alone them giving themselves enough time to logistically plan this thing out. I mean, they changed the whole playoff format a weekend into the season because they realized that, oh, maybe we should give Mike Trout a chance to get in the playoffs. What if the Yankees get COVID? Maybe we should give them extra chances to get in the playoffs. Or the Dodgers get COVID. We give them extra chances. Like, they're just always behind. They're behind on steroids. They're behind on sign stealing. They're behind on this. They're always behind.
Always. It's amazing. And it's funny because all three of us agree on that. And that's the sad thing. Like, we always talk about this is a sport that could go off the easiest, right? It's just done the right way. Should be the easiest one to go off. Should have been the
easiest one.
And Rob Manfred,
you're outside. Because you're outside, essentially.
Yeah, like you're outside. Now the domes, the only reason the domes
get one? Oh, Shohei.
Greg, the only reason the domes work is because now you're bubbling. So now you're all
right. In that theory, you bubble and you
don't want
to worry about the weather.
Yeah, and you don't want to preferably be in air conditioning, but it doesn't matter because you're all bubbled. So you're all in it together. So nobody's going nowhere. So just like the NBA. Yeah, nobody's going nowhere, no positive cases. It's real freaking simple.
And Dwight Howard.
Well, Dwight Howard's an idiot. I mean, that's expected. So, but you understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they could have did it. They could have did it better.
Got it.
They can't. Yes, I love Otani. They can't change it now. So listen, in a sport where you're outside or, you got guys that's cavalier on any team, it creates bullshit. I don't want bullshit. I want baseball. Already, this is why I didn't get my hopes up for the Phillies, right? As a Phillies fan. Like, because we already missed like 5 days of baseball. Like, come on, man. Like this is why I couldn't get excited about opening day. Because they weren't bubbled. I was like, this is going to be a mess. Because somebody's going to be an idiot. Some 22-year-old is just going to, be an idiot. And that's fine. But, baseball has the money to spend and do it right. And they just decided business as usual. So Rob Manfred is the dumbest thing in a week. And the way baseball went about their business, because they find ways to screw up everything they do. All that fucking time. I can't. It's amazing that one sport, this should be the easiest, screws it all up. So
we should have been playing for a lot longer.
The NBA, they're dripping on each other. You know what I mean? Dripping, soaking wet, so like running wet rags on each other's faces, and they're gonna be able to pull this shit off while these jackasses are behind the curve again. I love it. I almost love it because I never want baseball to fail. I just want Rob Manfred exposed as many times as possible for being a moron. That's all. Felt good getting that out.
We all had Manfred, all in different forms.
I just wanted the Phillies, man. Like, is that's gonna fucking lie? And they already taken away from me. Like, can somebody just get it right? It isn't hard. Follow the NBA. Follow it. The NBA always is ahead of the curve.
Right? Hockey had no positive tests. It tested like 5,000 guys the other day.
Yeah, I can't follow hockey anything to do, but they did it right with the bubble, okay? But what I will tell you is I will follow the NBA all day and twice on Sunday, and I'll follow what they do because I'll follow the damn money. So when the money bubbles, I got to follow what the money does because the money wants to finish. The money says, well, in TV revenue, I'll make off what I got to spend in the bubble. That's what smart people do with smart business people.
That's why they made everyone make the playoffs.
Well, Rob Manfred, the day before the season or the day of. You know what? We threw a vote out. They picked it. We said just write it and put it in the hat, and we picked it out. And everybody wanted 16 teams. The fuck out of here.
He drafted his fantasy football team, and then in week 3 he realized that it wasn't good for a PPR league, so he made his league a PPR league. That's what he did. That's exactly what he did. He just changed the rules.
But you know what I was happy to know? Was this baseball team different? Was this the same baseball team that's going to play down the competition and underachieve? What I found out before we leave here, through the first weekend of the season, is they're the same right now. Now that can easily change, but they're the same right now in terms of bullpen, in terms of names we've never heard of pitching, or guys who just stink like Cole Irvin, where you are actually paying a guy. You're paying a guy right now in JD Hammer, big league money, to not pitch on the big league club at all. But you're paying him to Uncle Luxury tax yourself. You're paying a guy that's not even part of this. There's other guys in your farm system that are better arms out of the pen than the slop you're rolling out there with. There is. Okay?
Who's that guy, Reggie McClain? Who's that guy?
Exactly. Francisco Liriano, some of the veterans. Like sometimes you got to go over to luxury tax and say, you know what? In a 60-game season, I want as many vets or as many guys who are
done it before
as possible. I want filthiness and vets. Filthy/vets in the back end of my back end of my bullpen or anywhere in my bullpen. Youth with filth and vets. And I got neither.
Yeah.
I got neither. And who's that on again? I'm done with him, Rob. I am done. Matt Klentak. The time, if we don't get it done this year, you want to talk about fire? We talk about fire, Merritt Brown, all this other shit. If Matt Klentak and the Phillies aren't a playoff team, I'm done with 16 teams. I am done with Matt Klentak. You understand that? He can go. It's time to pack your bags if you can't be one of the 16 teams.
Girardi's going to go to Middleton and just be like, this guy can't. Girardi will get him out.
He better. I believe that too. All right, boys. It's been a great show. Family, we thank you all for joining us. Tremendous on the comments. Tremendous comments by everybody. So tomorrow night, Chrome is in Disney, so you won't see him for Lazy Booking, but the Hockey Happy Hour will be on, getting you ready for the season, family.
You'll see him if you follow him on social. You see a lot of them.
Oh, yeah. You see things you might not want to see.
Yeah.
You see things you don't want to see. And Friday, you have Jimmy on the road to victory, Talking Birds. See how all that plays out. Saturday, the weekly roundup. Sunday, we'll be on me, Greg, Wilson, sweeps later on at night. But we'll be talking Sixers. We'll be talking 10-9-8 and a little hockey. So, and maybe some Phils, hopefully. If they go off, we'll definitely be talking Phils. So, and then next week we'll be back to, I believe, our usual schedule. I mean, Rob's on that Sports Hounds now 9 o'clock. Tuesday you got Birds of a Feather, and then Wednesday I think all of us are back. So we'll be back to all that funness. So, and then obviously you have In This Very Ring. Andy goes off Saturday night, so don't forget that as well for all you wrestling geeks out there.
That's the Butter show anyway.
Yeah, he carries. You got
Butters carries them.
That's Ryan Howard and like Victor Reno.
Yeah.
Like love Shane, but Howard carried.
Yep.
and he takes the compliment. Shane, great guy. Later, Pop.
Fan favorite. See you, Pop.
See you, Pop. See you, Paltaro, Gavin, Rye, Jay, Don, Prism.
Oh, guys, thank you.
Quinn was in the house. Mark Murray chiming in. We didn't get to you, brother, but we see it. We see everybody. Gavin, I think I said Gav's name already.
Lord.
Mark said. Mark said we'll just ask about the NFL. Do you think the NFL does a bubble? They need to. That's all I'll say on it. We'll see the direction they go on it, brother. And we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it weekly leading up. We'll talk about it more and more as that gets closer. Guys, we thank you all. We love you. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow everywhere you're at. Turn your alerts on. Giddy up. The best in
Hit
the best.
alerts.
No.
The alerts.
Alert City. Alert Gate for Tom Arnone, Greg Moakvik, Rob Brinkman. Thanks for jumping on with us, brother. Late notice.
Yeah, thanks, Rob.
We appreciate you. And everybody be safe out there. Yup, right back at you, Pop. Be safe. And everybody else be safe. Thank you to our doc. Make him yours, Dr. Paul Waddell, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. For all your HUD radio gear, you can find the link in the description. Philly Drinkers. Just go on phillydrinkers.com. Find out, you go to the HUD store on there. Game over. So much shit. So many things. So many things.
I had a couple more ideas. I gotta contact out.
Yeah, right. Everybody's rocking their shit. So here we are. We ain't going on nowhere. Prism, I see you, brother. I don't know if I said your name too. I don't remember a lot of shit when you get older. But love you.
Is that what it is? Is that why?
Sure, we'll go with that. Let's go, Sixers. Let's go, Sixers. Let's go, Flyers.
They open up Saturday too or Sunday.
I know.
Too. Let's go.
Yeah.